Hi there, Simon from simonwoods.com here, and today I'm on white Burgundy. I've got 4 white Burgundies from 4, I suppose what I call the 4 regions in Burgundy. Starting at the top, there's Chablis, then you get onto the what's called the Côte d'Or, the Golden Slope, where you've got all the famous names like Meursault, Pouligny-Montrachet, Chassagne-Montrachet. Then you've got a little bit further south called the Côte Chalonnaise, and then down further south, the Mâconnais. We're going to start actually down in the Mâconnais and with a Saint-Véran. Now the sexy name in the Mâconnais is Pouilly-Fuissé. Saint-Véran is just like the tier below it. So there's basic Mâcon Blanc, then there's Mâcon Village, which sometimes they put the name of a village next to them. There's actually a village there called Chardonnay, so you might see Mâcon Chardonnay. And then Saint-Véran and a few other places, Pouilly-Locher are like a step up, and then Pouilly-Fuissé at the top. But yeah, these guys, Blasson de Bourgogne, it's an enterprise that was put together, I think, by the UK importers. What happened was a group of cooperatives in various parts of the southern end of Burgundy mostly sort of thought, well, we're duplicating our effort. What should we do about it? Step in the UK importer and say, right, well, why don't you club your marketing efforts together? Why don't you pool a little bit of your resources here, there? And the result's Blasson de Bourgogne. The wines aren't great, but they are pretty good, pretty reliable for Burgundy. I've just realised I haven't got my spittoon, so I'll be back in about half a minute. I'm just going to wave my hand there so you can tell I'm still running around and waffling. I've got a red spittoon today. Somebody said, if I've learned the one thing from your wine videos, it's never drink from a yellow cup at your house, because it's always the one you gob into. Today, red gob. Anyway, Saint-Véran, Blasson de Bourgogne, 2008. And it's also running in price order, so this is about £9. Maybe 10 quid, but that sort of level. Well, Mâcon for me is the perfect place to hop into white Burgundy. If you've been reared on Chardonnays from the New World, California, Australia, New Zealand, wherever, Mâcon is where Chardonnay is at its plumpest and ripest. Some of the wines remind me of things like apple crumble, peaches and that sort of thing, and I'm getting a bit of that slightly rich peach, cling peaches. What is a cling peach? You know, when you have a tin of peaches and you've got that juicy syrup in there. Bit like that. Let's see if it tastes like that. It's actually quite restrained, he said, dribbling down his chin. It's got a little bit of that tropical fruit edge, but once it's in the mouth, it's actually quite crisp, quite lean, fresh, friendly, ripe but not overripe. Really nice wine, actually. Yeah, I like that a lot. Good introduction to Burgundy. Okay. Next one, we're going way north to Chablis. So it's the coolest bit of Burgundy, and the wines always have this tight, racy edge. Should have quite a bit of grippy acidity, which might put some people off. But the weird thing is, along with that fresh, grippy tightness, there's often a quite rounded, creamy flavour. Nice bit of tension between the two. Let's see what this one's like from Eugénie Carillon. Not quite as expressive and open as the Saint-Véran. I stick my nose in there and it smells really like this is a wine that needs to uncurl, whereas the Blasson is sort of like going, hello, I'm friendly now. There's also a bit of what's called sulfur dioxide, the winemaker's preservative. It feels like this is a wine that I should be pouring out now. What time is it? About 3 o'clock. Pouring out now to have a glass of maybe about 5 or 6 o'clock, because it really does feel tight. Let's see if I can give it a bit of a whiz around and get it to show its true colours. And it's starting to show a little bit of that nutty, almost flinty edge. It's much cooler. It feels like it's going to be fresher, more on that citrus, a bit of green apple in there too. Yeah, quite a different beast. Yeah, it's very lean. If this one sort of is maybe could do with a little bit of time in the gym, this one maybe could do with eating a little bit more. It just feels like it needs a little bit of body. But I've got a feeling that as this opens up with time having been opened, some of that richness that isn't showing it so much at the moment will actually come out of the bottle. Where does it come from? Who can tell? The mysteries of wine. But yeah, I'm left with a slightly sappy, very refreshing flavour. And while I can imagine sitting there sipping the Saint Véran almost by itself, almost Desperate Housewives type of wine, this one, very much you need a little bit of, love some shellfish with this. Yeah, because it acts almost like, instead of a squeeze of lemon, mouthful of Chablis. Okay, we are now heading further south to the Côte Chalonnaise. And there's, I suppose, four main appellations in the Côte Chalonnaise. Givry, where they do a bit of white, but mostly it's quite earthy, chunky reds. Meursault, a bit more even, and then Montagny. I think Montagny just does white wines, and then Rouy. So let's give it a whirl. Now it's funny because it's halfway between them, almost geographically, probably closer to the Mâconnais, to the Saint Véran, but you're getting bits of the characters of both. You're getting a bit of that citrusy, limey edge that you're getting in the Chablis, but more of that almost like some of that lusher, friendlier, riper, juicier fruit from the Mâconnais style. The other thing I notice is oak. Feels like it's been in a new barrel. It's got a bit of smoky, toasty character to it. Let's taste it. Desperately young, I think this is going to be 2007. I mean, it's funny, Chardonnays from I suppose places like Australia haven't got a reputation for aging. Some of them do, but good white Burgundy, sometimes it needs quite a few years to come out of its shell. This one feels like it's still got its best quite a long way ahead of it. Yeah, it's really rich, but reined in. It's got that oak edge is providing a little bit of structure, but you've got this juicy, creamy fruit. It's not, I wouldn't say we're phenomenally complex, but it's really well made. You've got this juicy, creamy edge, reined in, nice acidity, fresh, friendly, quite full-bodied. I don't know if you think of white Burgundy as being a full-bodied style of wine, but here this is the fullest body so far of the wines. By no means a over-alcoholic, over-oaked bimbo, but yeah, quite a bit of richness there, but still very tasty. Yeah, if the Chablis is more the one for the shellfish, I'd try this with some good roast chicken. Okay, last wine, and we are in the sexy bit of Burgundy, the Côte d'Or, with Meursault Premier Cru Goutte d'Or. Now Meursault doesn't have any Grand Cru vineyards, but it has some pretty good Premier Cru. Goutte d'Or is probably not one of the absolute top ones. I mean, there's one called Meursault Genévrier, which is should really probably be a Grand Cru, but Meursault Goutte d'Or. Let's give this a whirl. And it's from Louis Latour. Famous name, 2001 vintage, so it's in its 9th year now, and looks quite golden in colour. It's showing a bit of development there. Let's give it a sniff. And yes, you're starting to get this nutty, or almost honeysuckle edge coming through. It's still got this quite a nice weight of hazelnut, pineapple type of fruit there, but you're also getting this like lovely nutty development. It smells like it's going to be really good. Now I like that. It's got again mixture of richness and tension. It's got these rich nutty flavours, slightly creamy, almost oatmeal-like character from the barrel aging on the lees. Sometimes Louis Latour wines can almost be a little bit too, not severe, but when they're young, they really can be quite closed. But here, you're getting a lot of flavour, and yeah, it looks really good. The other thing about it is the sign of a good wine. It hangs around in your mouth. You're left thinking that's really intriguing. It's again, what I say, this mixture of richness and tension. Almost a hint of herbs and fennel and things like that coming through. I've got a feeling that this is a wine that, as with the Chablis and the Rouy, more and more is going to be coming out over the next few hours. So have a look at the notes on the website, see what comes out, see which of the bottles ended up getting finished. I have a feeling it's going to be the Meursault. The neighbours will get the rest. See you soon.